Shalom. Salachya for the ad to make sure y'all can hear me a little bit. Shalom, giving all praise and glory and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honor to the elders, apostles, great millstone, GMS, that teach us the truth and the spirit and power in the name of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect scattered. All right, I'm back in the part 2 lesson, dealing with the individual dream that the elders and apostles on down to the Ahtham was doing, all across, basically the world, the states. Yep. I'm going back to this foolish woman with the 12 tribes chart. And sooner or later, like I said, man, when all these prophecies come to pass, these women are gonna get it the fucking worst, man. The children too. All right. Hey, it is what it is, man. We just praying and hoping that we are the elect. And we have to endure this hell and destruction as well. All right, at the end of the day, we ain't exempt. All right, no matter what, no matter how much, we in this truth, because at the end of the day, it all boils down to the Lord being with you during the hour of temptation, during the time of the MOTB, which is going to be mandated worldwide. All right, that's the ultimate test. Revelation 13 and 16, which goes into the time of great testing, being thrown in FEMA camps, possibly getting your head chopped off. Revelation 20 and 4. Also, chapter 3 and chapter 2, both verses is in 9 and 10. All right, and that's through the Spirit. Right after 2, 9, and 10 is 3, basically 9 and 10. They basically say the same thing. All right, prepare your soul for temptation. All right, you might be in temptation in 10 days, a perfect amount of time to be under distress and to be tried. All right, but let's continue in the video, and I just want to get precepts dealing with this topic. So back in Joel, the 2nd chapter, come down on the rain, the summer rain, the latter rain, the first month. It says deliverance promise, and like I said earlier, Acts 2 and 17. But this is verse 18. Then will the Lord Yahawah be jealous for his land and pity for his people. All right, and that's what's about to happen. Redemption. Okay, redemption and basically the kingdom. In a nutshell, the kingdom of heaven is going to be established unto his people. The people that's still to this day in captivity. All right, under bondage, underneath the curses. It says, verse 19, yea, the Lord Yahawah will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil, and you should be satisfied therein. And I would no more make you a reproach among the heathen. Going into that wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that protection. All right, the spirit, ultimately, because if you have the spirit of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, hey, ultimately you're protected. All right, you're gonna have, the doctrine. All right, which is coming out of One West Great Millstone. You're gonna have that. You're gonna have the names. All right, you're gonna have the breakdowns. You're gonna have the spirit upon you. All right, and I want to. Verse 20, but I will remove far off from you the northern army, and I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, and his face towards the EastSea, and hinder part towards the upmost sea, and his stink shall come up, and his ill savior shall come up, because he have done great things. Ultimately, all right, the northern army, the American army, is going to enter into the valley of Jehoshaphat. All right, near the I believe near the Red Sea, if I'm not mistaken. Lord will I do another video on that, because it's already been broken down. But The Northern Army is North America entering into those lands in the time of war and judgment. All right, and that's what this individual saw, a bunch of YNs, because the draft also is still going to be mandated. All right, so them YNs might get shipped off. And I know one in particular YN that works at my job that's already done signed them papers. So most likely his black ass going to war. Better him than me. But going back into it, it says face towards the EastSea. Should be the the Red Sea. See if it says it. And like I said, I do the part ancient. The second part. I'll break it down just to go over it, because I do have it in my notes as well. But that's back at the house. But ultimately, a war, man. War is going to happen. The Northern Army is going to be sent off to those Middle Eastern countries, all right, near the Levant, ultimately. And that's how also Israel is going to be cleansed by fire and destroyed by war. But those heathens are going to build it back up. Verse 21, fear not, O land, be glad and rejoice. And it's ultimately talking about Israel. All right, it's a people before it's a place. For the Lord will do great things. Be not afraid. But, all right, that's it right there. All right. So let's go into 2nd Ezra. Second Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 1. Behold, speak thou it in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. And I will cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful. Damn, this nigga bold as hell. Just ran through that motherfucker. Anyway, Salachya. For they are faithful and true. So let's go down a little bit. Verse 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. All right, basically going into civil unrest, civil war that's going to be happening on the soils of Babylon the Great. It's going to be another civil war that's going to pop off. Isaiah the 19th chapter, verse 2. All right, the Egyptians fighting the Egyptians. And also this precept, man. The Lord is going to dismantle this society and totally break it apart, piece by piece. For there shall be sedition among men, or a great uprising among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Going against local government people, your officials, attacking them, killing them. I think in the country of Nepal, the Asian country, they killed their I think it was a female prime minister. You can look it up for yourself, but they killed somebody. I think burned them alive. All right, so these heathens are enraged, but hey, how much more America? The only reason why American people ain't really crashing out like that, even though they are, but at the same time, Esau, Edom still give them crumbs, just, enough crumbs to know how to still docile the people. And then on top of that, you still got your drugs, your guns, your whores, all that, anything, basically a wicked individual can wish for, all in one, package all in one, man. And verse 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and great tribulation. And that's what's coming. The lack of bread, great tribulation. Salachya. Like I said, great tribulation, lack of bread, dealing with, lack of resources, the troubles that's about to happen upon the planet Earth. Like I said, martial law, the collapse of this society. All right, because the dollar still has to collapse. And they still have to implement that MOTB. After that, you know, just be looking forward for the missiles to be flying over here and pray that you be delivered. So, like I said, so I get 2nd Ezra 6. 2nd Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. All right. And also a good precept, 2nd Ezra 8 and 50. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right. Whosoever remaineth from all these things that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world, the end of Esau's world, the end of the world of wickedness, carnality. All right. Also a good precept, dealing with the Isaiah 4 and 1, because during that time, whether people believe it or not, it's going to be a lot of, and he even said in his video, it was basically older men, was looking after and dealing with younger women. All right. And that's, look, after that example of the time Israel attacked, I believe, the Midianites, I forgot which, I think it's in 2 Samuel 6 or something like that, but one of the brothers had went into it. But all you got to do is just type in that, in the search bar of the ChatGPT, and it'll give you the verse and everything, dealing with the Midianites, the women and the men that got killed during the time of the Midianites. And they took the young women, knowing damn well most of them women been under the age of their flower. And with that being said, I'm pretty sure they was, preserved, for either a son, for her to be a servant, or for her to be a wife. All right. At the end of the day, women are property. They're possession, like the scriptures say. 2nd Ezra 16:32, verse 33, the virgins. Oh, what's up, Bo? What's up? I ain't even knew that been your ass. I good, though. I good. I go on the food line. They right there. Yeah. Appreciate you. Anyway, down, Salachya. Says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. For their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. In the wars, their bridegroom shall be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. And that's what's coming. All right, that's why that man had that vision of mass deletion of the YNs. And ultimately, Isaiah 4 and 1, women cleaving on to one man, not caring about how many women they got. It's funny, man. And in that time and in that day, that's exactly how it's going to be. Ain't no woman gonna give a fuck about how many women you got. They just want to be delivered. All right, they just want to be delivered and come from off of their reproach, their troubles. Going back, like I said, to Isaiah 4 and 1, and also Isaiah 32, 1 and 2, on down to verse 9, you women that are at ease, because great trouble is coming. And that was that vision was about. Not only that, it's been many of, women having visions about the MOTB, famine of the word, cannibalism, starvation. All right, so these things are coming. So with that, I'm going to close out, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles, a great millstone that teach us this truth. Peace, love, and blessings to the elect, scattered around the four corners of the earth, mainly in Babylon the Great. Till next time I say shalom.